First, God, we want to thank you for the many blessing that you allow us to enjoy each day, Heavenly Father. God, we thank you for the brand new mercy and the grace that you had for us. God, we thank you for our department here, the job that they did in 2025. God, we ask you that your knowledge and wisdom lead them in 2026, Heavenly Father. And God, we ask you to keep our workers safe during this weather coming in, Heavenly Father. We ask you to look over our records in the county, Heavenly Father. And any sickness that we have around our county, I know Steve is going through something. He asked God to keep your loving arms around him. And the accident just happened, we had death in the family with the deputy. We ask you to look over that family and give them strength where they need strength, God. And God, we ask you to look over our president, guide his heart and in wisdom that he might do the right thing. And God, we thank you for the men and women that keep us safe every day, that we can go about our business, doing the things that we want to do. We thank you for our men and women. Now, God, when we leave this place, we ask your traveling grace to get us all back home safe with our family members. And God, we ask you that everybody be safe in this weather that coming Friday and Saturday. This we ask in Jesus Christ's name and ask. Thank God.
Amen. Amen.
Let's say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Ashley.
Here.
Brown. Here. Baker. Darling. Ford.
Here.
Hitchen. Here. Griffin.
Here.
Henry.
Here.
Lathrop. Roski.
Here.
Steve.
Here.
We have a show.
Okay, we need approval of the minutes from December 11th.
No correction. Judge, I move that we accept the minutes to read. Any necessary correction needs to be made.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. What we're going to do is, before we go into the new business, we're going to ask Courtney for the library to come up and talk to us.
Go ready now? I have my associate.
Thank you.
Honest at foot, because I just said it. You just got it.
One page. Thank you.
I feel like a preacher before the Fifth Sunday potluck, because I've had so many people ask me how long I was going to take. So. Anyway, I'm Courtney McNeil. I'm the director of the Hempstead County Library. Thank you guys for having us here tonight. I understand that you guys have been kind of going around all the departments to get some information from everybody, and I think that's a great idea. It's wonderful that you guys have been doing that. Just a little bit about me. I'm originally from Hope. I graduated from Hope High School a long time ago. How long ago that was doesn't matter. I have a finance degree from SAU. I have a master's of business administration from Harding University, and I have a master's of science in library and information studies from Florida State, where I also focused on youth services. Kids have always been very important to me, and I feel like that's also very evident at the library, the things that we do. I have a wonderful staff. If any of you have been in, you've come to know them and love them just as much as I have. We have Haley Barnes that just handed you the information. Haley has been with me since May in the current role that she's in as assistant director. Wonderful decision on my part. I'm kidding. She's been a wonderful hire. She has great management experience and has been such a great addition to the team, and I'm very thankful for her. I also have Vera Jackson and Wanda Whitley. They've both been there for a number of years. Great ladies, very passionate, all of us, about what we do, and just educating the community and just loving our patrons and just coming to work every day with a smile. We really love it. I also have 3 part-time young ladies who help out quite a bit. They all balance, one of them is in high school, the other 2 are in college, and they balance work and work every day, and they're great, we love them to death, but anyway, we are open 6 days a week. I'm gonna try to hit the high points. Normally, I don't even take notes and things like that when I speak to organizations, but I'm trying to stay on task so that I don't ramble and I don't keep you guys here for a long time today. Anyway, we are open 6 days a week. Mondays, we're open from 12 to 8. Tuesday through Friday, we're open from 9 to 5:30. And on Saturdays, we're open from 9 to 12:30. As far as our services, we offer a lot of different things. Of course, we have our books. We have books and movies. We have around 35,000 books and movies at the library, which we weed through regularly, which is a library term that's just like in gardening. You weed through the old bad stuff that you don't want anymore. We take that stuff, we sell it sometimes. What's left over, we donate to Hope Haven. We took a load out there not too long ago, and the lady was a little bit shocked when we just kept going back to my car and getting more books. But anyway, the folks at Hope Haven have lots of information to read. And then we also donate them to the sheltered workshop so that those individuals have work as well. We also go and read to schools and daycares. We have also, up until this past summer, we've read at Kids College every year, which is a great way to build relationships with these kids and get them to come in. They see us out in the street and they know who we are, and they come in the library, and it's such a great way for them to get to know us and want to come in and use our services. Last spring break, we had bingo. We had 2, I believe it was, sessions of bingo. And I'm going to do an adult bingo. I spoke at Lions Club. Karen invited me to Lions Club, and we had several ladies there that were like, please do an adult bingo. And I'm still going to do it, I promise. But the kids had such a good time. We gave away lots of candy, lots of books. The candy went really, really quickly. The book's not so fast, but hey, we're working on it. At Christmas time, in the past, we have had Santa come to have pictures made with the kids. My dad has actually been Santa before, so he had to give away his suit. He had to give it back to his church, so he had to retire from that. But we've done craft programs at Christmas before. This year we did letters to Santa. We had a big mailbox for the kids to put them in. We do contests. We always do a Halloween costume contest. We get the kids to come in with their costumes on. We take pictures of them, and we'll judge those. The last 2 years, we've done a bookmark art contest, and that has been so much fun. This year, we even added an adult segment of the contest because so many people were wanting us to do that. One of our age groups was so big that we had to divide it into, I guess, what was it, 3 ages? It was 11 to 14, or it was 7 to 9, and we had a 7-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 9-year-old winner because there were just so many. That was the best way to keep it fair. But literally, the kids decorate a blank bookmark, and we pick the winners, and then we print them, and they get a prize, and then they get to come pick up their bookmarks, and the community gets their bookmarks as well. We also have public computers. We have 4 public computers where folks can come in. They can apply for jobs. They can print Word documents. They can send emails, anything like that. We have Wi-Fi, where you have your phone, your tablet, laptops. We have a community meeting space. DAR comes in, Hope for Cause. We have a homeschool group that comes in sometimes. We have tutors that come in. You can also copy, print, and fax for a fee at the library. We also let you scan. That's free. We also have online, and I have some information about that on the little sheet that I gave you, which is just a little bit of random information for you to take home with you, and it's pretty too, so I enjoyed making that. So anyway, we have e-books, e-audiobooks, and e-magazines. Those are all available 24/7, so we've been selling those hot and heavy the last few days, getting ready for this weather. We have a little over 13,000 e-books and audiobooks and magazines on our website. And I did want to share with you because we noticed this the other day when we were preparing for this. But we've had ebooks since 2011. I started at the library in 2011, so I've been doing this for 15 years. We started ebooks in 2011, so they've continued to grow. In 2023, we had 9,870 total checkouts for ebooks. In 2024, we had a little over 11,000 total checkouts. And then last year in 2025, we had a little over 13,000 checkouts. So it's growing every year in popularity. So I'm so thankful for that. We get requests all the times for things like that. And for the most part, we're able to meet those requests and get the types of things that folks want. And I'm thankful that we're able to do that for them. We have groups come in to the library to have field trips. And that's always fun for me because I like to send them on a little bit of a scavenger hunt. So we go send them to different places within the library and they have to find different clues and things. And they always seem to have fun with that. We recently went to a job fair at the college with 9th graders from Hope and Blevins. Stromack was there. We gave him a pen. Pretty sweet. Did you bring it tonight? We probably lost it. Anyway. But honestly, our big thing that I really wanted to talk about is our summer programming. That is our biggest thing that we do. And it is one of those things that, and it's cliche, but they say if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life, and that is so very evident for us in the summertime. But every year we have, it varies every year from 5 to 6 weeks or so of summer programs, it's probably a little bit different than what you think than maybe what it used to be. Honestly, people don't want to drive from their houses with $2 a gallon worth of gas and listen to me read a book. And that's just how it is. They want to see something that's fun. So we pay performers to come in. We have a few of the ones that we had last year was Magic Mr. Nick. Mr. Nick has been coming to the library for, gosh, I don't know, 10, 12 years. He is so great with the kids. Obviously puts on a magic show, and then immediately following that, he puts on a foam party outside. So the kids come dressed in swimsuits or anything that can get wet. Literally a gigantic cannon that shoots out foam. That's of course safe for eyes and different things like that. We have pictures all over our Facebook of that. Swark, I believe Hope Prescott probably has pictures. So y'all be sure to check those out because it's the kids, they absolutely love it. We also had Big Papa Bubble. He's out of Conway, and he has basically like a 50-gallon trash can, and he has a big mixture in there, and he makes these gigantic bubbles, and the kids get to pop them, and they absolutely love it. We have the Circus Man. I think the Circus Man comes from the farthest distance. He's from Kansas City, and he puts on a one-man circus show, minus the animals, of course, because we don't have elephants and tigers and whatnot, but he does all the balancing and all that sort of thing. And then we have the Wild Things Safari. They're from close to Austin, and they always bring in a bunch of animals, and of course the snakes are always popular. This past year we had fun with the chinchilla, and there was a baby kangaroo, and there were some other things too, but the animals are always a hit. And one other thing that I did want to point out, and it is, the libraries are sort of a unique part of the county. I'm not an elected official. I'm not just an hourly employee. I'm a salaried employee. But libraries are governed by the Arkansas Public Library laws. And I have a link on there, on that info sheet, where you can actually pull up this exact book in a PDF file online, because they don't really have a lot of copies of these. As you can imagine, they're probably pretty expensive to print. But this sort of outlines how the money that we get from our millage is earmarked for us by law. It talks about how many board members we're supposed to have, and the minimum and the maximum, and what they're supposed to do, and that sort of thing. So it's pretty handy to have a little bit of legalese in there. But anyway, nonetheless, it's good to have. So anyway, I've rushed through that to try to let you guys get out of here. Does anybody have any questions?
What can we do for you?
Well,
Besides more money, that's no.
well, and I will say this, we are very fortunate for the money that we have, and I feel like we're probably one of the few departments in the county that won't come to you and ask for money. So we're very fortunate for what we do have. So, but I don't know really of anything off the top of my head at this exact moment that I could think of that you guys could do. But I do appreciate you asking that, and in the event that we come up with something, we will surely let you guys know. So, all right.
You all should have got in your packet a copy of the hot check report from the prosecuting attorney's office. Don't have any questions on that. The Ben is here. Hopefully he can enter them because I cannot.
Did we make it one up?
We make any money off of this, Ben?
Yes.
Yes.
Not as much as we used to. Nobody writes checks anymore.
That's good. Like that's cool. Whatever we made.
We'll move right along. Ordinance 2026-1, sponsored Jesse Henry. An ordinance establishing the regular set time and date of the Hempstead County Farm Court. An ordinance to be entitled Ordinance 2026-1, establishing the regular set time and date of the Hempstead County Farm Court. Be it enacted by the Farm Court of the County of Hempstead, State of Arkansas, Section 1, that the regular scheduled monthly meeting for the Hempstead County Farm Court is the fourth Thursday of each month at 4:30 p.m. in the large courtroom of the Hempstead County Courthouse. And now, therefore, the set date and time for the regularly scheduled monthly meeting for Hempstead County Farm Court shall be the fourth Thursday of each month at 4:30 p.m. in the large courtroom of the Hempstead County Courthouse. Repeal clause, all ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed. That this ordinance shall be full force in effect from and after its passage and approval dated this 22nd day of January 2026.
So moved.
Wait a minute.
So moved, I'll second.
Let's roll.
Are you ready?
Now,
Roll call.
Ashley,
Yes.
Brown, Ford,
Yes.
Goshen, Griffin,
Yes.
Henry,
Yes.
Lathrop, Roski, Steve.
Yes.
Motion passes. Ordinance 2026-2, sponsor Ed Darling. An ordinance to establish the distribution of district court monies from the city of Hope. Being enacted by the Quorum Court of Hempstead County, State of Arkansas, that Article 1, this court acknowledges and affirms that the need to establish the percentages to be distributed of the Earth Act 1256 be set per Act 371 of 2025. Article 2, the percentages set forth shall be 42% to county general, 34% to victim witness, 22% to public defender, 1% to district court, 1% to law library. Article 3, if any of the provisions of this ordinance or the application thereof to any person or circumstances shall be held invalid, and such invalidity shall not affect the order, provisions, or application, and to this end, the provision of this ordinance are declared severable. Number 2, all ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed. Article 4, the ordinance shall be in effect immediately upon its passage by the Quorum Court and approval by the county judge in accordance to Arkansas Code Annotated 1414-907F, adopted this 22nd day of January 2026.
This is our normal percentages, everybody will always know.
No. So, and this was when the new law, this new Act 371 went into effect. We did, last month, we did the ordinance to split this money 50-50 between the city and the county. So, do you remember what the old percentages were? We did adjust the percentages some because public defender needed a little bit more than what it normally gets. So did victim witness. The law library and district court fund have a lot more money in them, so we didn't put as much in there as we were. victim witness and public defender were the two main ones we needed to increase, because this is pretty much their sole money that they get to fund those two.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Ashley?
Yes.
Brown? Ford?
Yes.
Goshen? Yes. Griffin?
Yes.
Henry?
Yes.
Roski? Steve?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Hey, Sheriff, want to come up? Talk to us for a minute.
What I left each one of you attached there, outlining our sheriff and jail activities for the past year. First of all, I want to start by saying, I'd like to take, I wrote it, but I can't read it. I'd like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank each one of you for your unwavering support over the past 16 years during my service as the elected county sheriff. As I submit this annual report, it'll be the final one I present to the court before the conclusion of my term and my retirement on December 31st, 2026. Serving the citizens of Hempstead County has been one of the greatest honors of my life. Over the past 16 years and throughout my 48 years of law enforcement, I've been fortunate to work alongside dedicated public servants who share a common commitment to safety, well-being, and the future of our county. The support, cooperation, and mutual respect I've received from the Quorum Court and our elected officials have been instrumental in meeting the challenges faced by law enforcement and moving our agency forward. As the next sheriff prepares to assume this office, they will undoubtedly face a mountain of challenges as law enforcement continues to evolve for the next generation. I encourage you to extend them the same spirit of cooperation and partnership that you've shown me. Strong relationships between the county sheriff's office and the Quorum Court and the elected officials are essential to effectively serving the people of Hempstead County. As I conclude my career after 48 years and the past 16 years as your sheriff, I wish the next sheriff the very best of luck. I sincerely hope they experience the same positive working relationship and support from this court and from our county officials that I've been privileged to receive. Thank you again for your trust, your collaboration, and your dedication to Hempstead County. May God bless each one of you, and may God continue to bless Hempstead County law enforcement. I listed some calls. This is not everything we've done, but I'm going to hit the high points. I'm not going to read this whole board, y'all can do that, but some of the high points I'm going to hit. Our calls for service in 2025. We had 3,102 calls for service. They conducted about 1,485 traffic stops, including that. Persons using the Hempstead County Courthouse, our security officers down there count everybody that comes in the courthouse. Everybody comes through those doors. And when we first started this back in 2006 with our courthouse security, we broke them up into English-speaking and non-English people. The non-English-speaking people needed help for translation, things like that. The English-speaking people were 29,862, with 5,378 that needed some kind of help with translation, making a total of persons that visited the courthouse 35,240. For 2025. Our security officers either turned away or confiscated 1,088 pocket knives, and were asked about 17,484 cell phones were sent back to the truck, back to the car. Judges don't allow cell phones. The incident reports here I'm not gonna go over through all of them, y'all can look. I'll touch on some of them. We had 185 citizen assists, that means we assist the citizens somewhere by changing tire, doing this, doing that for them. 1,124 incidents. We arrested 279 adults, 59 were summoned. Persons arrested on view 59, juveniles 7, and total persons that were just taken into custody right there was 199. We served about 910 civil process. We served 1,026 civil process. We received 910. Entered 1,528 warrants and served 1,197. 38 death investigations along with the coroner. Anyway, y'all can read that. The next page was the last 5 years, from 21 to 25, our major crimes that we had to report to the FBI. You can see those compared to the last 5 years. Some of the ones that stand out, we've had an increase in rapes. We had 11 last year. Aggravated assault, we had 36, that's up a little bit from last year. Simple assault, 26, is down. Intimidation, 13. No homicides, we had 1 homicide at 24. Thank God, in the county. But you can go along and see there what all we had. The next one I'm not going to cover too much. We had 927 victims of crime, identified 1,237 offenders. Additionally, we had 115 complaints, not complaints on the deputy, but complaints filed for other type things. But this is where we have a problem. Only 44 witnesses were willing to provide witness statements. So that's where we come up, and we have trouble sometimes prosecuting these, getting them to the prosecutor because nobody wants to say what happened. Nobody knows what happened. You know, without the willingness and cooperation of witnesses, physical evidence, cases are very hard to prove. Annual training report for our deputies. There are mandatory training hours that are mandated by the state. Of those, they include mandatory yearly instruction on racial profiling, use of deadly force, and duty to intervene. All the deputies completed that. During the calendar year 2025, they completed a total of 834 hours of training. So you have some very good trained deputies on the street today. Our patrol division, we operated a total of 14 patrol vehicles, 14 are full-time, 10 are assigned, or 10 were assigned to full-time deputies, 4 to part-time deputies. They drove a total of 297 miles, a little over 297 miles, responding to calls this year. Response times were as best as we could. Criminal Investigation Division, that just tells you what goes on, how many investigators we got. The investigators accumulated over 20,000 miles investigated crimes this year. Detention and transport vehicles, we have 3 vehicles now. We bought the old VA van to keep putting too many miles on our big vans. They drove in about 39,340 miles this year, picking up prisoners, transporting back towards the doctor's office, things like that. Our booking activity, you can see we booked a total of 1,023 individuals in the jail this year. 882 individuals were booked by the sheriff's office, which represents 86.20%, or 20% of all the total bookings. So sheriff's office and the county booked 86% of the total population. Whole police department, 96 individuals, representing 9%. State police, 21 individuals, representing 2.5%. Highway police, they booked 8 and representing 0.78. ADC would come in at 0.39. That's that. Recidivism rate, y'all can read that for yourself. It just shows you we've had inmates that last year booked in 17 times, coming back, the same inmate coming back 17 times. We had 2 of those. 106 male inmates were booked 2 or more times, and female offenders were booked about 17 times. Total 143 individuals, 37 females and 106 males met the criteria for recidivism. The next one is your average population report. The average daily count was 69, the highest was 100, and the lowest was 53. Currently, as of yesterday, we had 36 waiting to go to ADC. We've got, it says 15 on the report, but we come up to 36. They took 8 today. We got 22 awaiting court, 3 in medical segregation, 18 misdemeanors, 5 mental health patients, and 10 309s. The next page gives you the ages of people that were booked in. It seems like ages between 41 and 50, we had 265 people between the ages of 41 and 50 booked in. That's the highest age range. We've had as young as 2 13-year-olds, and 4 13 to 15s, and 14, 16 to 17. We don't actually put them in jail. We set them up front in the sheriff's office till their parents and the juvenile officer can get there. We don't actually book them into jail. This jail utilization statistic, you can look at that. I have their education, the inmates' education, what grades they completed. And y'all look at it, I'm not going over that. 239 is completed 12th grade, and then it goes on down 3rd grade to college, some college. One thing I want to talk to you about is mental commitment. Along with the report, there's a letter in there that I've written to Governor Sanders. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be one of the main problems facing our future law enforcement people, our future sheriffs. Holding mentally ill patients in county jail has been one of the most serious and growing challenges we face. In 2025 alone, Hempstead County held 30 individuals in the county jail under mental commitment. These individuals were detained either to determine competency to stand trial or because they were suffering from severe mental illness due to lack of prescribed medication and posed a danger to themselves or the public. Once booked into the jail, these individuals receive little or no meaningful treatment for counseling while they're there. In several cases, mentally ill patients remain incarcerated for an extraordinarily long time, waiting for beds to become available in a state hospital. And I'll give you some examples there. We got a 35-year-old male that spent 498 days in jail before being accepted to the state hospital. A 29-year-old female that has currently been held for 250 days, waiting for a placement. A 34-year-old male has been incarcerated for more than 117 days, still waiting on transfer. A and a 42-year-old male has been killed over 343 days with no immediate placement. Now, while they're in the jail, they get, the mental health professionals come and assess them and make their recommendations, but they don't get any type of counseling or anything like that. And this is one of the issues not only facing Hempstead County, but facing sheriffs from all over the state. And the practice of holding mental patients in county jail, we're not equipped or trained to hold mental patients in a county jail. The detention officers put up with more of these mental patients, they do terrible things, throwing feces, throwing water, throwing feces on the side of the wall, things like that, and presents the detention officers, it's a health risk, really. And finally, in December, I wrote a letter to Governor Sanders, telling her, and I know other sheriffs has too, that, and I gave them these specifics about these 4 individuals that we had. And I think one has gone to the state hospital. I checked with the jail administrator today. We have 5. We just got another one in the other day waiting to go to the state hospital. Like I said, they present dangers to themselves, dangers to the public, dangers to our detention officers. And I was just had my wits in on what to do with these mental patients. So I just sat down and wrote a letter to the governor asking her for some help. And I've yet to receive a response from her. And I know other chairs has done the same thing. And in closing, I know y'all want to go. And I'm going to try to keep this challenge in facing the sheriff's office in the coming year. As Hempstead County looks forward to the future, the sheriff's office faces several critical challenges that must be addressed in order to continue providing effective and safe law enforcement services to our citizens. These challenges involve personnel retention, facility infrastructure, mental health commitments, staffing levels, training, and equipment needs. One of the most pressing issues is retention of well-trained deputies and detention officers. While the county has made progress in raising salaries over the past several years, our pay scale remains uncompetitive compared to surrounding counties and other law enforcement agencies. As a result, the sheriff's office often bears the financial burden of recruiting, equipping, and training new hires, only to lose them once they're fully trained to higher paying agencies. The cost to hire, equip, and train a single deputy is approximately $10,000. And that's not including their salary. Until competitive wages can be offered, this cycle will continue and place a significant strain on county resources and operational stability. Recruitment and retention of detention officers is especially difficult in addition to low-paid detention officers working in extremely hazardous conditions. Inmates, particularly those suffering from mental illness, routinely expose officers to dangerous situations, including throwing feces and bodily fluids. These acts create serious health risks and continue to significantly burn out and turnover within the detention service. We've hired 2 in the last several months that they've come to work one day and wouldn't come back. That they weren't going to put up with what they had to put up with. It takes a special person to be a detention officer. I'm going to tell you that right now. And as we just went over the mental commitments, I'm not going to go back over there. The county jail, I'm not going to go back over what I said about the commitments. Y'all can read that. The petition of the Hempstead County Detention Center presents an additional major concern for our future law enforcement people. The facility was constructed in 92, 93 and opened in July 94. Since opening, the roof has been replaced 3 times, structural issues have resulted in malfunctioning doors and cracking walls. The HVAC system consists of 12 commercial heating and air units located on the roof. All have been replaced over the past 30 years. Our jail is 30 years old. Okay. Approximately 2 years ago, a major plumbing failure forced the closure of the jail and required inmates to be transferred to other facilities. Repairs exceeded $500,000 with no guarantee the issue will not occur. Engineers said the repairs expected to last only 6 to 8 years before further problems arise. As a result, the next year will likely face a need to plan and construct a new detention facility. Additional challenges include the need for increased funding for training, deputies and detention officers, the need for additional deputies to ensure regional response times, and the necessity of maintaining modern equipment so officers can perform their duties safely and professionally. Hempstead County encompasses more than 741 square miles of land, 14 miles of water. The Sheriff's Office is responsible for providing law enforcement services throughout this large geographic area. The City of Hope got the only organized police department with 25 officers. All other towns, including Blevins, Beann, Benton, Spring Hill, Patmos, Fulton, Cloud, McNabb, Perrytown, Oak Haven, and Washington, rely solely on the Sheriff's Office for law enforcement services. And we have all these major highways and Interstate 30, we have to respond out there to help the troopers, and we're responsible for patrolling all that. And, thank you for putting up with me for the past 16 years as elected sheriff. And I got this.
So, to save you from having to hear a presentation from the Extension Office, we've come up with an idea that on February the 4th for the community coffee, we will do our interpretive event there. And if you have the opportunity, please come to the community coffee. We will host it at the chamber office. For those that are, it was one of the things that we came across that in 1916, that was the year that the first home demonstration agent was assigned to Hempstead County. They had an ag agent prior to then, but then they started with their first female agent. And as we reflected, we said, ooh, we didn't recognize that. And looking back, I'm sitting there going, thank goodness I'm not here in 1916. I wouldn't have a vehicle. I wouldn't have an internet. I would be going horse and buggy to all the community of the 740 some odd miles we have in Hempstead County to visit families and provide them information. So we'll tell you information that we are doing now. And at the same time, we'll have master gardeners there, extension homemakers, and 4-H to show you some of the additional programs that we've done for 2025 and what our plans are for 2026. So, thank you.
Before we leave, I want to make 2 comments. One, I'd like to address this to our Quorum Court members that you scattered all over the county. The weather that's coming up is supposed to get pretty bad. And the thing we need to do is emphasize to our people that they need to be making preparations on their own. I have a mother-in-law that lives with me. I'm having to deal with taking care of her and taking care of myself. And a lot of us have family that depends on us, but we can't wait for this storm to get here. We got to start making preparations now. Simple thing like filling your tub up with water to have extra water. Lighting, because there's a good chance we'll have power outages. And even if your next door neighbor, check on your next door neighbor, go over and say, can I do something for you to help you be ready for this? Because what happens so many times, a storm comes and people aren't ready and then they don't know what to do. So I'm just trying to say we need to be ready for this, help our neighbors. And as Quorum Court members, you can get the word out in your communities for people to work together and be prepared for this. And another thing I want to share with you, and I'm going to be restructuring the Finance Committee. We got some new people that's coming on board. Ed's not here, so I will get with you the next Quorum Court and give you what I'm proposing. That's all I got to say.
don't forget to turn in your statement of financial interest that I either mailed you or emailed to you this week. It's due by the 2nd of February.
Everybody be safe and is welcome. Motion to adjourn.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry.
Yeah, good evening, Sylvia Brown, neighbor in Fulton. To your point, Judge, about emergency preparation, I just noted that Governor has already done an emergency declaration for the state. Is that something on the table here for the county to do?
We have already done it. We've
Okay.
already declared emergency in order to be able to get things we need to be ready.
Right, gotcha. And lastly, as well, to that particular point, I know in the municipality of Fulton, we all recall 2021 winter storm Uri and the challenges there. And hopefully, we have not heard of some mitigation plans or disaster preparedness plans that Fulton Water Works is doing. But what is happening from the county perspective to support municipalities, whether that's getting water trucks or helping the volunteer fire departments, what's going on to help us to also be prepared or have confidence that our municipalities can also handle it while we're taking care of ourselves.
And what we're doing, because we went ahead and declared an emergency, things that we might need, we request it. That doesn't mean we're going to get it. But it still goes back to each community. You've got to take care of your community. I mean, like the water source you have, I remember the water was off in Fulton for, I don't know how long, quite a while. And like right now, I believe that it's still exposed to the ovens. I don't think it's been covered, has it, Jesse? So each community, each mayor, each person needs to take it on themselves to kind of work with that community and make sure these things are done. I can't tell you what all we can get for communities. We can request it. And they're already, I'm not supposed to announce it, but we're preparing to have a place people can go to stay warm and stay out of the cold air. Their situation is being prepared for the hospital locally, and I don't need to say what all those are right now until they're in place. So we are making preparations. Any other questions?
I second Jesse's motion.
And do me a favor, when you're going, well, we don't hold our security people up for a long time. Look, we need to go as quick as we can.
Yeah, some say we'll get out.
Yeah.
Clear the house.
Pay them till they leave, so.
Yeah.
Good